Hi again. So today we are talking about 180-degree rotations. And the other day you practiced and learned about 90-degree rotations. And you learned that on a graph, rotations go counterclockwise. Here's some good news about rotations that are 180 degrees though. 180 is half of a 360. So half of a full rotation. So really, it doesn't matter which direction you go for 180 degrees because you're going to move halfway around. So if my image starts off in the first quadrant, 180 degrees is two 90-degree turns. It's going to end up in this quadrant. Now, because it ends up in this quadrant, if you can picture this as the x-axis, it's going to start up here. One turn would turn it into the y. Another turn turns it into the negative x, which is why the x just switches signs. Same thing with the y. The y starts here. One turn takes me to the negative x. The other turn takes me down to the negative y. So on this one, it's a little nicer because I don't have to switch places of the numbers. All I'm going to do is change the signs of each one. So if you need to, pause this video to copy that down. I erase my writing. All right, let's do our example. So here's our example. I will go ahead and remind us of our rule. The rule for 180-degree rotation says xy turns into negative x, negative y. So let's practice this. We've got A is starting off at 2, 4. Well, the copy of A under this rule, both of those signs, the 2 and the 4, change. So the 2 and 4 are both positive, so they're both going to become negative. B is starting off at 3, 2. Both of those signs will change. So instead of a positive 3, we get negative 3. Instead of a positive 2, we get negative 2. C is 7, 2. Oops. Under that rule, C becomes negative 7, negative 2. And D is at 1, 1. So under this rule, it's going to become negative 1, negative 1. Now let's go ahead and graph these. So hopefully you can predict my image started in the first quadrant. A 90-degree turn would put me in the second quadrant. So a 180-degree turn is going to put me right here. I'm going to start with A, take it back to 0. A is going to move to negative 2, 4. That means 1, 2 back, and 1, 2, 3, 4 down. B is going to go negative 3, negative 2. So if I go back to 0, 1, 2, 3 negative, 1, 2 down. C is going to go negative 7, negative 2. So take C to 0, come over to negative 7, and then down to 1, 2. And finally, D is going to go to negative 1, negative 1. So go to 0, go over 1, and down 1. So 180-degree rotations are, as you can tell, usually a little bit easier because we're just changing the sign of each of the ordered pairs. It's two 90-degree turns, but it seems to be a little easier for a lot of students. So as always, make sure you hit submit. Make sure you take a screenshot of this to turn into Echo and let us know if you have any other questions. Keep working hard. We're proud of you.